Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Flight Room Podcast, episode 77. I'm your host today, Lighthouse. I'm here with Remy, please.
Hey,
Stay out. Um, let's just get right into it, man. A lot been going on in the past couple of weeks. A lot of big stories going on. Probably the biggest story right now, it seems, it's a sports story, but it's pretty much gone beyond sports. It's this whole John Gruden situation, man. He just resigned as the Raiders head coach. Some emails came to surface that had a lot of offensive language in it. The NFL, was like, "Hey, bro, this ain't good for the Shield right now." So they had to do what they had to do, or I guess nudge him to resign. So I mean, what's your overall thoughts on that whole situation? What y'all think what this eventually going to lead to?
I mean we can peel this several ways. This Y2 banana, as Gruden like to say. But, I don't know. Like, part of me is like these are like emails between, like, that's like my text messages, between us. I'm laughing at dark shit. You know what I'm saying, stuff like that. It's not like he's using racism or sexism or uh that whole gay stuff to like leverage him over somebody. Like, that's what like racism is. Like, he's describing, I mean, how many times, I mean, do you really think, like, especially these old boy owners and old boy coaches from the era, you think they talking nice about certain people?
Nah, not at all.
Probably not.
Yeah,
But like,
not at all.
so like, why I mean, we know why. Like, he has to being forced to resign, pretty much fired. But I don't know. I don't think like stuff. And then we talked about this shit last week with the whole Sage Still stuff. Like, stuff that like you say, outside of work, like, shouldn't be, a detriment on you. I mean, that's how I feel. Like, on your
Yeah,
job, your profession. Like, it shouldn't be a like. He wasn't at the time. He wasn't an employee of the Raiders or whatever. Like, he's an employee of a network, ESPN, and he said XYZ to another friend. You know what I'm saying? It's Bruce Allen. He's a scumbag. Regardless,
yeah,
but he's
yeah.
saying that to a friend. It's private. It's private conversation, bro. So like, why is private conversation being made public, and why are being punished for that? Even though he said wild shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I know he said wild shit. Yeah.
yeah. He said some wild shit. I think, man, my overall whole thing and just how the whole thing playing out, because these are some old emails. You know what I'm saying? And the NFL is, we people always say the good old boys network.
Progressive.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
progressive, man.
It's the good old boys network. So I feel like to put John Gruden and make him that sacrificial lamb is pretty much putting the rest of the NFL on notice. Like, the days of that whole good old boy network is over with. We can expose y'all emails from up to 10 years ago, and I know all y'all gonna have something that could be perceived as being racist, sexist, misogynistic, uh, insensitive, whatever the hell you want to call it. Like, every single person, if you go through all the emails, you're gonna find something. So I feel like to make John Gruden that sacrificial lamb is pretty much putting the rest of the NFL on notice to let them know, like, all right, we're moving on to this new era of progressiveness in the NFL, and that old way, that good old boys way of going about things is pretty much dead. So I think that's what I think this is all about. It's pretty much, denouncing the whole good old boys era. That's pretty much over. It's the woke era now.
But how is they saying this is a slur? Calling somebody a pussy? That's a slur.
I mean, nah, and that's the other aspect of it, because if anybody's ever played football, the language that goes on in the football locker room. You know how the coaches talk to the players. You know how the players talk to each other. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's always been the culture inside football. So
But it,
now the fact that guys are getting actually, like, pretty much kicked out of a position for that. That lets you know, like, this that shit can't fly no more. At least in for public consumption, I guess you would say.
he allegedly called him a faggot too. A faggot too.
Okay. Like, how many
But yeah, that's
times?
what I'm saying. That's some shit that,
How
man, the
many
coaches be
blurred
saying
out
that.
words on the radio? You can say.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't necessarily be. I like you might say it. One, we already talked about this too. those are conversations that are held like over the phone and like with in immediate circumstances.
First of all, he wild for putting in an email. Who fucking emails shit like that? Like,
that's what I was getting. Like you put that shit in email, and then two, you also like I know he wasn't an employee of the NFL at the time, but he still. I don't know how you consider it because I feel like Monday Night Football, although they're still affiliated with the NFL, and so for you to call your quote unquote boss Roger Goodell a faggot and anti-football pussy and everything like that you know you're going, regardless if you call your boss something behind their back or whatever, you're going to get a slap on the hand, you're going to get some type of whatever. But I do want to say only white people are able to resign, and this isn't just like with Jon Gruden. Only white people are able to resign as opposed to being fired. Like, you know, you're supposed to be fired. Like, I mean, they said they were waiting for the Raiders to fire him, but he ended up resigning. Only white people have that opportunity to be like, nah, fuck that. You're not going to fire me. I'm going to keep my pride. I'm going to keep my dignity. I'm going to resign before you get the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, but like I said, I think this whole thing is, I mean, like, you know, it's football, man. It's pretty much the end of locker room talk. You know, he pretty much took locker room talk and he put it in the email. And I think, I mean, I know what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you the language and the way that he was speaking is some typical shit you're gonna hear in the locker room.
Some of it, but then like he went further. Like when he started, like, because he also went against the NFL when he said like that Jeff Fisher like only selected Michael Sam. Yeah, only selected Michael Sam because they got it. I mean, they got the nudge or whatever from the NFL, and then like some other shit.
Hey, on draft day, that's what it looked like, man. They had a whole camera.
It was a whole charade. Yeah. It was a whole like bit.
But you know, they got cameras in everybody's houses now, and on.
Yeah, but then he was also though.
But he was also like I don't remember who else was in that draft cast, but he was also one of the biggest.
He led
that was one of the biggest stories.
That was one of the biggest stories.
That was one of the biggest stories. So it made sense for a camera to be there. Like,
this from Jeff Fisher, his statement.
Yeah. It's also super.
Jeff Fisher, I don't even remember why he got fired. What happened?
Jeff Fisher was trash. Jeff Fisher was going 7 and 8 and 8.
Oh, that was it. Oh, just because he was trash. Oh,
that's Matt.
Yeah.
Well, he got his just due then.
Yeah, and then yeah, and then also it's also ironic as hell for him to say that about Michael Sam, and then he ended up coaching Carl Nassib.
But all right, that's what I got. At the end of the day, do you think like now he really cares? Like you can feel a certain way 10 years from now. I mean, 10 years in the past. I know I feel different. You know what I'm saying? Because like we're around it more. Like 10 years ago, what was it 2021?
11.
Yeah. All right. So we was just
that wasn't that
school.
long ago though.
But we was just finishing.
It ain't like he was in his 20s and he's young and dumb or something like that.
Hey, but you grow, bro. We was just finishing school. We just like, you know, was around it a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, at Bowie. Like you was seeing it a little bit more, like, you know, having like those type of people around you on your everyday life, at your workplace, all that stuff. You probably feel different about it. And at the end of the day, this man is getting sacks for your team. He's helping your team win. He probably don't give a fuck at the end of the day. You think like, you know, because you can see him on Hard Knocks and stuff like that. I mean, you can see like the affinity he has for his players. So do you think like I mean, you can have like racist jokes and stuff like that, but do you really think he's racist? That's what I'm saying. If you're not, he's like, oh, I don't. If he was really racist, like he was like, oh, I don't want him on my team. I mean, I want all, you know, I want all Hunter Renfros, you know, on the squad.
I don't think
you know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's racist. I didn't even find the what is
this? Is what they do, bro. This is what they do.
The biggest Michelin tires over there.
Nah, I find that job racist, yo. Because he ain't say the Michelin Man. He ain't say the Michelin Man. The Michelin Man is a fat white dude. He said the Michelin tires.
That is a bad racial joke. But to be fair, like don't black people say big wild shit about other races?
I know black people always talk about how white girls don't got no ass. So we always talk about white girls.
Or they cooking suck, or they smell like,
or they don't put seasoning in their food.
Or they smell like wet dog, or anything. You know what I'm saying?
And white people don't got lips. All that good stuff.
Yeah, but it smell like bologna when it rains.
Y'all stupid, man.
But yeah. Now I was just saying it's ironic. It not even the fact that like of course 10 years, but I also don't think he was super supportive. Like even when Carl Nassib came out and like the actual statement that he had was like basically like his statement was what makes a man different is what makes a man great in terms of like that was his supportive statement. It wasn't like I support him and his ability to live his lifestyle outside of the football field, but whatever he does on the football field is a contribution to the team or some shit. Like that nigga said, what makes a man different is it makes a man great. So I still think it's just funny as shit for you to say that about Michael Sam a couple years ago, and then all of a sudden you end up coaching the first open league game.
And even within
Who's
that,
better
like,
than Michael Sam?
remember, like even back because we even got like somebody like Eminem that's about to perform at the Super Bowl. Eminem during the whole early 2000s, homophobic this, he was throwing F words, faggot this, faggot that, every goddamn song, and bam, he about to perform at the Super Bowl.
Y'all about to hear
Like,
it too.
you know, we with misogynistic this, with misogyny. Do we have to go down the whole Death Row era and Snoop Dogg and all this shit? Bitch, please get down on your motherfucking knees. Them niggas is about to perform at the Super Bowl with all that misogyny in their music. So I mean, yeah, it's like I just see hypocrisy in this. You know what I'm saying? I do. I mean, like we were gonna be against it 100%, or you know, we picking and choosing at this point because almost every motherfucker that's performing at the Super Bowl got some misogyny in their music. Probably got some homophobic shit in their music. Then killed about 159 niggas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, man, on record. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's like, is this really a moral thing? I don't think so. I don't think this is about morals, bro. I think this is, you know, I guess maybe he pissed somebody off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know
what he did. You know what he did, Randall. You know who he talked about. That.
Oh yeah, you talking about Roger Goodell? You talking about that? You talking about when he was talking about his? You talking about John
No, he talked about Beloved. He talked about Beloved.
Oh, Obama.
He did.
Obama.
Oh, he did. Oh, yeah.
He did talk about Obama.
Mm-hmm. That was the last straw.
Or I mean, we're gonna touch on this a little later. He talked about is pretty much, you know, the whole theme of Dave Chappelle's recent you know, stand up. Like you could talk about, you know, XYZ, black people, all this shit, Michelin lips, all that shit. But once you mention a certain, you know, sexuality group, you know, who they identify with, they're gonna pull the plug on your ass quick.
Yeah.
But I will say though,
and you peep how all the coaches are wearing them colorful hoodies. You know,
the colorful hoodies are for cancer. It's for the different types of cancer. It is pride. It is football. Whatever. I'm sorry. It was
pride. It's pride football.
Pride. Yeah.
But I will say though, I think, you know, if anybody's ever played football in their life, the language in practice, the language in the locker room, the language on the field. That should be that everybody get canceled if you could actually hear the language. Shit in basketball, coaches. I've seen coaches call players faggots and sissies and all kinds of shit in high school. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, come on, like, let's be, you know. And John Gruden, that's a football coach his whole damn life. That's the culture he come from. I'm not saying it's right, but nigga, all our coaches will be getting taken down right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, coaches coaches, they be cussing their players out like shit.
Oh yeah,
they still be cussing. They be cussing the kids out like the 8 and 9 year olds, let alone like high school. I know high school is bad, but like the 7, 8, and 9 year olds be bad. Like I don't necessarily want to say they be cussing them out, but the language and the the stuff that's centered around that is wild.
It's what they use light curse words when you're young. Use light curse words.
It's also hilarious though, like these Jon Gruden emails, and we talked about it too. These Jon Gruden emails came not from an investigation of him, but from the investigation of the Redskins, Washington football team, Bruce Allen, Dan Snyder, and everything like that. And like I know y'all been talking about it for a while, but the fact that Dan Snyder, it seems like he's literally just being like headhunted, like they're after him, and y'all always talk about it, like with the Jeff Bezos, with the name change, with some other things, the publications and all that good stuff. I know some of it might be true. Don't get me wrong. Some of it might be true. Some of it might be valid, like the workplace culture and the what was it? Was it an ESPN special or something like that where they was talking about the workplace culture, and it was like the women feeling unsafe working there and all that good stuff. But like it's wild how many things are coming at him. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
And it seems like every year it's like, you know, it's like he beats one, then some new shit coming up. Then he beats that one. There's some new shit coming. It's like it's a never-ending struggle with Dan Snyder. He clearly has pissed some people off. I mean, we've had this conversation before. I think he's probably the most powerful guy that's like not in the inner circle of the owners. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that might be an issue with them. Who knows? He probably know a lot of secrets. He probably know a lot of shit that the public don't know about the other owners. And I wouldn't be surprised if he start throwing people under the bus if they try to take him down. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how. But this shit look like it's gonna get real ugly. Like I think this is just the beginning of this whole situation. Because I was seeing some shit said they was gonna take out 650,000 emails. Like, man, you know how many emails? You know how much incriminating bullshit you gonna find at 650,000 emails? You gonna find something.
Yeah.
But Hillary Clinton emails weren't allowed to be,
Hell no.
Okay.
But Dan Snyder's the one that leaked these interviews. I mean, allegedly Dan Snyder's the one that got these emails out, because these are the emails that was
he hired the lady to do the investigation.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
so I don't know if y'all posted it. I seen some post. Somebody said something about him trying to him stepping down or whatever and making his wife.
Yeah, that was at the beginning of the season. Like, she's like the face of it.
So that was at the beginning of the season. So how long they been doing this investigation? So they must have knew some shit was coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, this was stemming from the whole, people that was getting fired in the front office, from even Larry Michaels that was doing like the whole Washington football, the whole media stuff, and they hired Julie Donaldson to take over. So they're saying, it was a bunch of like females, and actually this is a statement from the lawyer that's handling that case. But yeah, it's like she represents a whole bunch of the women that say it's a hostile work environment and all that stuff. That's really not saying anything in the public eye. So you don't know.
What a time.
But there's definitely more stuff out here. I think Jon Gruden might just be the one that they do it now. But trust me, there's more shit out here that they just ain't released yet.
You know what I'm saying? But in the background, Dan Snyder has been, suing like people that's been making false. Because remember, there's like a bunch of wild shit that's saying like he was connected to Epstein and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And he was suing those outlets, and then all that shit stopped. Like it was like that stopped dead in its tracks, because like that's defamation you're talking about. Like if you're not accurate, you're not true, none of that shit's happening, then you're going to fork over some money.
Remember,
and you don't have the lawyers to do so. So
remember when they kept having that story that was like it was
and
I don't
Jay
remember when
Gruden and all that stuff.
I think so, but it was like no, because they never said exactly what the story was going to be. They was like, we have a bombshell that's going to be dropping within the next few days or something like that. There's a bombshell that is going to disturb the entire Washington football team's culture and everything like that, and then nothing ever happened came from it,
because he sent them lawyer pit bulls after the.
But they said he was sending the pictures of the Redskins cheerleaders, like nude photos or some shit like that too.
Bruce Allen.
Okay.
Bruce Allen will email.
It was going wild.
Pictures his freak ass. What's the point? Like, you see like titties everywhere on the internet, bro. Like, why are you sending pictures of these girls? Like,
because they're a bunch of nerds with powers,
right?
That's basically what that shit is.
And then now Adam Schefter's getting caught up in this. Like, he's like, people are like, especially Jamel Hill. Like, she's probably the worst person to follow. Like, I don't know why I still do, but she's saying like, oh, I never asked for permission from said. I mean, he's checking the sources and stuff, but to paraphrase it, Bruce Allen gave like Schefter like a gimme, because like Drew Rosenhaus sent out like a mass email to like all front offices saying Navarro Bowman is available. So Bruce Allen forwarded that email to Schefter, and then Schefter got the scoop early. Mm-hmm. But that's what I mean. Isn't that his job anyway, to get scoops and post tweets about the shit? You know what I'm saying? That's his job. He's an insider. So how do you think he's getting inside information? Like, why are people so surprised?
Mm-hmm.
He works with relationships, whether it's fucking training people, whoever, IT guys, whatever. You always working ahead.
No, I agree.
People making a big deal about nothing, for real.
It's an ugly situation. Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. And then even when this whole thing came out and it said racial trope, I'm like, what the hell is a racial trope? I've never heard that shit in my life. So that right there alone was a red flag. I was like, what they trying to stretch out the racism? That's what I thought. I was like, oh, racial trope. They trying to stretch out some racism. You know? And that's exactly what that shit was. Like, you know, but I mean, what we gonna do? It's sad, bro, because I be looking at it like a lot of these powers that be behind the scenes are pretty much using the emotions of the people to push their agenda. So if I don't fuck with Jon Gruden, all I gotta do is find something that could be perceived as racist to get him up out of there, even though I could be a racist my goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? We could be two racists beefing, and I can use racism as a way to take you down.
Right. It's
you know what I'm saying? It's like it's easy. So I mean, that's kind of how this should be looking nowadays. You know, so
could have even been baited in to even say that shit. I don't know.
But like these some old ass emails, and the world didn't change so much in just a couple years. You know what I'm saying? Like shit that's just that was okay just 2-3 years ago ain't okay no more. So I can imagine that they gonna find some fucked up shit. Like according as of today, October 13th, you know what I'm saying? What is offensive? Now let's look 10 years back and see if we can find that. You know, and that's what they doing. So all the NFL owners, all these coaches, they all put on notice right now. You know, Jon Gruden was just the sacrificial lamb. So the rest of them, like, oh shit. Like I'm telling you, can like in the definition of wokeness, you can find dirt on any fucking body. Like literally, anybody can go down for that shit. And I ain't even talking about that. I'm talking about regular fucking people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that says something offensive, everybody that says something offensive.
You just see my text.
You know, yeah, like let's I mean, for real, like, why don't we just go publish our group chat to the world? You know what I'm saying? Let everybody see that shit. You know,
and that's the thing. Like it's not like he's like on ESPN and like calling the game. He's like, oh man, look at this. You know, look at this queer running up the field with such speed and shit like that. He's saying this shit behind closed door. This is how he talks to his man. Like, you know what I'm saying? He knows when to say the shit. He knows when not to say the shit. Like this is how we operate as people across the board.
They ain't calling no nappy headed hoes.
Yeah, you're not gonna say that shit on your radio show. No, that's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Hey,
you gotta know.
Your man was fucking excited and shit. These are some nappy headed hoes.
It was a Don Imus.
Yeah, what the fuck compelled that man to say that shit?
I mean, sorry.
He said what he normally is used to saying.
You gotta hear what it is.
Yeah. Shit. All right. I mean, going from one sports, you know, wokeness event to another one. Let's get into Kyrie Irving. He's decided not to take the vaccine. I think this is more of like a New York thing. Because if he's playing for any other team other than like a New York team or probably a California team, I think as well. So it's political. He can't be in the clear with this. So I want to like what's like the
He better get that vaccine. Stop playing.
what's the protocol for away players going to like Brooklyn and stuff like that? So
they can play.
They can play. Oh, that's weird. So
as long as
now it seems like I don't know. Maybe this is all like a script. So I don't know. But he's
not.
No.
It's not him. It's the. I mean, what's the state?
State law.
Or state laws.
Okay, but all right. Say Bradley Beal decides not to get it, and he goes to New York to play. He can play.
Yep.
What sense does that make?
Oh, probably because his employer. I mean,
he's not. Okay.
I think it's based off your employer.
Okay.
I might be making that up.
Sean Marks, the GM of the Nets, he's saying Kyrie will not be eligible to play unless he is eligible, meaning, he has to get, the jab. So that's wild.
Yeah.
And Kyrie's been, upfront about his position on this. He wanted to be private about it, but we knew his position. But now he's got to, roll with the punches.
Yep.
And it's crazy because I said this shit a couple weeks ago on Overtime. You think, and they even talk about this shit now. You think like, depending on who you play for, it's going to be decided like, are they going to trade him now to like a team that's in another state that allows this type of thing?
Kyrie said he'll sit out. I don't think he said it. Sorry, I think the rumors is he will sit out. They said like, I think I saw some. I think I saw something that said Kyrie said he will retire before he gets
traded.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe not gets traded before he plays for somebody else.
But the funny thing that wouldn't surprise me at all if Kyrie retired early because he just seems to be a dude that just has his mind in so many different places. I can see him retiring in 2 years. I don't. Something about him don't seem like his life is all about basketball. I feel like he has other aspirations and shit. So I wouldn't be surprised. I could see Kyrie being like, "Fuck it, I ain't playing no more, just retire." I could see him doing that shit.
And they already said they won't be extending him on the money side. So,
and then as you just said, Marcus too, like even if he were to retire in 2 years, I don't necessarily know. I don't check nobody's pockets, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to find his own way to start up his own league, the same way he was talking about doing before the bubble.
And I'd be perfectly fine with that. I support that shit 100%, man. I would support because then if you in control of your own destiny, then you ain't got to worry about shit like this. But so yeah.
Sorry, allegedly that was his talks. I don't want to put that on him.
No, he was saying something about players. No, he was saying something about that about players starting their own league. I mean, they the talent at the end of the day. That that's what people pay their money to see them, not these owners. So they can do it, man. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Kyrie, he his own man. He can make his own decisions. If he chose not to get that vaccine and he can still support his family and do whatever the hell he got to do, then all the power to him. I guess he's making this decision is bigger than basketball to him. So I'm gonna respect that, at the end of the day. So I really don't have no issue with that. I feel like, a lot of people should have some sort of principles that they stand on that's greater than their job title or, whatever organization they connected to. You should always have some sort of principles that you stand on. So I appreciate. I mean, I really have no issue with that at all. So.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he can stand on them just because he already paid. He got, everybody else out here got to keep that 9 to 5.
Not necessarily though, because not all jobs require it.
Exactly, that's what I was about to say. Same thing. It's still a decision. It's still a choice. At the end of the day, it is. You can always still find another job.
Because because they're not even just talking about like he has to produce negative tests or produce like weekly testing or different things like that. They're literally saying he can't do anything unless he gets both vaccinated shots or one shot, one full dosage or whatever you want to, however you want to call it.
Though. I understand that, because they're fucking traveling all over the fucking U.S. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's working down at the KFC in one fucking spot. He's going all over across the U.S. So I understand that shit. But
understand what? You understand what?
That they want him to get the vaccine because they travel all over the U.S. And
they did the whole season like last season. Like what changed?
But they ain't trying to do that. I guess they feeling like they lost money or something.
And it's still only New York and LA. The rest of the NBA still doing the same exact thing, traveling all over,
both blue states,
back and forth.
And once again, my thing is like, if you're going to make that stance, allow people the opportunity. I've always said this: allow people the opportunity if they want to get weekly testing. Even if he said he want to get daily testing, like. Fuck it, let him do that. Like if that's his option, I mean, like you can't. I don't think you're supposed to be mandating shit like that.
It seemed obvious, right? It seemed obvious that like this is the objective. The objective is to vaccinate as much people as you can and shame them as much as you can. Make them look, like the dunce,
selfish, or
right.
The funny
they call him selfish, but like look at his his philanthropy. Like this dude, he be out there on the same spectrum. He bought George Floyd people's house. Like is he really selfish?
No, and he's got so many instances of him giving like the last. I mean, I don't want to say his last dollar, but him giving money to like people on the corner and different things of that nature. But it's also funny as shit that they got like New York is like everybody New York and Sean King posted it today. But everybody in New York is talking about Kyrie Irving not getting a vaccine and all that shit, but they was like Sean King and Randall, this your man, was like that 16,000 police officers in New York are unvaccinated.
Wow.
A lot of public servants are bucking the system right now.
But
a lot of those stories ain't gonna make the mainstream noise. Yeah, they're not.
But they shine a light on one main person, Kyrie Irving, as opposed to the 16,000 police officers who are walking. And Corey, you were talking about traveling the U.S. These niggas are walking the beats of New York City
amongst the people,
the dirtiest place in the country.
Yeah. having to interact with people on a day-to-day basis. Like you have to interact with people. Kyrie, if he is an unvaccinated individual, like he doesn't have to. The only people he has to interact with are people in the basketball arena. These niggas, the cops are supposed to be interacting with. Everybody.
So what's up with this 16,000? This is my first time hearing this shit. So are they on some exemption, or are they just trying to hold out to the last minute, or what? No, I mean, they're not really holding out because it's already law, right, over there in New York. That's why they're not get Kyrie. So they're not really holding out.
No, I think it's. I mean, so it's not. Once again, it's not mandatory that you be New York. So they might be unvaccinated and they might be able to do the weekly testing, but I think I think the distinguisher factor is maybe because he's playing an indoor sport, and I guess the crowd and the amount of people that are going to be in the stadium, they're trying to regulate that. But I don't know why they determined that Kyrie should be getting the vaccine as opposed to these the cops. But
so it sounds like it's more so the owner of the team or whatever wants to enforce their shit.
No, I think it's like mayors, governors, you know what I mean, law writers and stuff.
But I'm saying, if the mayors and governors not enforcing this shit on the police, how they going to enforce it on the team?
Because is the police going to change the mind of the people?
Exactly. Kyrie Irving is more of an influence on the people rather than a random cop. At the end of the day, these celebrities are they're influencers. So if you got to have them in alignment with whatever it is that you're trying to do more than anybody. Because a lot of people look to these athletes. That's why a motherfucking LeBron can sell Sprite. You know what I'm saying, in the pickup basketball game, nigga, and people gonna buy that shit. So.
And that might be a little dangerous too. So say like what I mean. And we'll get there, eventually with this whole airline shit. But say the New York, police department, every precinct start having walkouts, the ones that start having the mandates and stuff. How you think shit gonna end up with that if the police start walking out? Who keeping y'all safe at night in y'all comfy Manhattan lofts and shit?
Well, they just gonna hire security. They straight.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like they got teachers and shit. They got a short. I think I saw an article that shortage of teachers in Florida now because of the vaccination and shit. Stuff. I don't know. They're not gonna get it now, and they might find themselves in the unemployment line.
Yeah.
Don't start that, Corey, because then they're gonna start saying that the same governors who make the laws about like you got to have the vaccine are gonna make the laws that say like you can't get the unemployment check if you don't get the vaccine.
Yeah,
exactly. Don't come in here.
I mean, this should look obvious. Hold on, Billy Carson had a good tweet today.
Leave that one alone.
It's funny though.
No, I didn't see
it. Magic Johnson was allowed to play in the NBA with full-blown AIDS. It was HIV to be corrected, but Kyrie Irving can't play because he won't risk his health taken by the jab. Is pure evil. What you're doing to this man and his family. I mean, kind of true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an alternative.
I mean, Magic Johnson, they made that whole rule. Like, as soon as you get cut, like somebody, you got to stop the game. You got to clean that up. Mm-hmm. That's life or death.
Who was that player that during that time period? Was it that when Magic Johnson was trying to play and he was like, I ain't playing. Was it Nick Van Exel? I think it was Nick Van Exel, wasn't it? Or like Tim Hardaway or some shit like that. It was a guard. I remember he was like, I ain't trying to play on the floor with his ass. But you know what I'm saying? But
what you say? I'm good, dog.
Yeah, but that dude was but at the time he was actually shamed for that. You know what I'm saying? For saying he didn't want to play with him. So it's kind of crazy how times change.
Yeah, that's how we said earlier.
Okay. He probably got something to say to the baby. He probably got something to say to the baby.
This is kind of on the first topic a little bit. What y'all think about Randy Moss's his whole little?
I didn't hear it.
Hold on, what happened to Randy Moss?
I heard like the end
he was crying. He was crying because of the whole The John Gruden shit.
Oh Lord. Oh, he did play the first. Hold up, he went with the Raiders then, though. What did he play? When did he play with John
this just
Gruden?
happened. He was crying like because he said he was disappointed by the comments, and he started like
Oh, he was crying because of his emails.
Yeah.
Lord.
The first set, the Michelin tire one.
The Michelin tires, man, Jesus.
When he said it, so when he talked about it, was it Monday Night Countdown?
West Virginia.
Marshall.
That's nigga from West Virginia. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
did the person's lips look like Michelin tires though? That's all I want to know. Did they look like Michelin tires?
I don't know. You be the judge, nigga.
I don't know. Who is it? What's the name? What's the name? Let me see.
DeMorris Smith.
You want to look it up?
Who the hell is DeMorris?
He's like the head of the NFL.
FLPA. Yeah.
Spell
Black
for some years, for a while now.
Yeah.
DeMorris. Is it
DeMorris?
I don't think it mattered though. Like he's just saying, like, I mean,
what's his last name?
Smith.
DeMorris Smith. I'm probably not spelling his first name right.
I think I got the right on shit.
DeMaurice. Shit.
You sound like a substitute teacher.
Exactly.
Is DeMaurice here?
Here we go.
He said DeMaurice.
Oh, he talking about this dude.
Today, you kind of just put your head down and you think of him as the leader in terms of the decision maker, but not necessarily a leader you respect. I'm curious from your perspective, Randy, if you were in that locker room today,
and he's the token black guy on the set.
Yep.
Of course.
To speaking in Teddy's point, basically you hear us talk about we got work to do, we got a job to do, and that's to provide for our families. And Teddy hit it right on the head of just putting your head down and going playing football. I speak about the game of football.
Why you laughing?
I fell in love with the game of football.
I'm looking at this picture over here.
I get emotional talking about it because of situations like this. My civil rights were kind of messed with in high school over the color of my skin. And now being able to play 14 years in the National Football League, to have something like this of a leader. We talk about leadership. We give guys these big contracts because they want to be able to lead 70 men, coaches, equipment staff, and managers to the number one goal, and that's to win the championship. And for us to be moving back and not forward in 21st century, like I said, man, National Football League, this hurts me. The clock is ticking, man. I'm sorry.
No.
I can
He's
play
so
for
country.
you, but
He's so country. You said he from West Virginia?
Yeah, from Rand. He from Rand.
Rand University, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, I feel him because he did have that situation in West Virginia. So like you know,
he probably I bet
it's a way different type of judicial system out there. And you know what I'm saying? On that, but like it just looked like it was a little.
I mean,
it was a little theater.
Shit, though.
It was a little.
It's not the same shit.
I'm just saying he used that instant, but
to talk about a judicial situation when a nigga just said somebody had some big lips, those two don't go together.
Yeah, it's not the same.
That's what I'm saying. And West Virginia, I know you heard shit like that all the time.
Look at the picture. Look at the picture.
Yeah, because I heard that shit playing against fucking teams like Damascus and shit like that. I've heard shit like that. So. I don't know. And then how he just like, he was on key with it. Like he made his point, did the cry. Okay, let's pan the Teddy Bruschi. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all like a motion.
But what happened to Straight Cash Homie? What happened to that guy, man? That's not Straight Cash Homie right there, man. I mean,
right.
I don't know. I mean, that nigga was mad vulnerable, y'all. I ain't never seen Randy Moss like that, man. That nigga was mad vulnerable, y'all. That's not the Randy Moss I remember, bro.
And then everybody just looking at him like, what's he gonna say? So but I feel him on that. I don't know.
Did my man say anything? Did Uncle Shay say anything?
You probably did.
I didn't see that.
I know Keyshawn was going off.
Oh, I know Keyshawn was going in.
Keyshawn went off.
He played for him, didn't he?
Yeah, Keyshawn said he been trying to tell niggas about him.
Yeah, Keyshawn, he never liked him. They never. But for real, when John Gruden left Tampa, he left in like with a bad taste in the locker room because I remember the players was talking about how he was a big phony. Like when he left Tampa Bay, the team was like, "This dude is a big phony." Like that's what they were saying about him. So
that's still wild that they put him in the Ring of Honor. I mean, I know they took that shit down, but they put him in the Ring of Honor in Tampa Bay.
I mean, because before this incident, John Gruden was beloved. Like, let's not act like nigga the quarterback little joint where he had to play every rookie quarterback come in. y'all was falling in love with that shit. Don't act like y'all ain't fucking with it.
Yeah, nah,
even on Hard Knocks, it's good TV.
The Chucky doll shit. Everybody love Chucky, man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Randall, you said he won a Super Bowl. Fuck, we finally put fucking Jerry Jones in there. I mean, not Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson.
And that's y'all fault. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. That's y'all fault.
And he used to coach at the U. So at the end of the day, you already know. Y'all know y'all tripping off that shit.
Hell yeah, I know that. All right, I know that. But I was just saying, like, that can't be.
But that was they one and only, so maybe they was jaded. And also, Jerry Jones was holding a grudge against Jimmy Johnson. So
yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, y'all was tripping.
Yeah. But
at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's a clear agenda going on between all this woke media. Last week talk about Sage Steele. This week is Jay Gruden, Kyrie Irving. We're gonna go on Dave Chappelle in a second. Like, everything is geared towards, if you're not on this, trajectory, they're gonna kick you off the plane. And the plane I'm talking about right now is Southwest Airlines. They're gonna kick you right off the plane. Because allegedly, you know what I'm saying, they say those all these planes were getting grounded because of weather in Dallas. I don't know what type of extreme weather they have in Dallas, or the holiday weekend and shit like that. But Saturday and Sunday they said 800 flights was canceled. The number grew on Monday. Actually, they didn't count for the shit that got canceled Friday, so the number is close to 1,400. But in between the 12 and 1,400 range, and people are saying behind, if you like listen to the mainstream media right now, they're not talking about the whole vaccine mandate that these FAA, traffic control, and pilots are, being forced to. So this is another situation where nurses that we covered a little bit ago, police that we just covered, a few minutes ago. This is where people are kind of like fighting back, and this time is being completely glossed over. They talk about some damn rain and sleet and hail and shit like that. But the thing is,
so what did they cancel the flights for?
That's what they said it was like for inclement weather and bad FAA scheduling and shit like that. But Southwest,
that's not true.
But Southwest was the only airline that was affected by it. A little bit American Airlines, but Southwest was the predominantly they said 75% of their ship was grounded. So it had to have been a company thing. Spirit was still getting off. They don't care about it. They probably don't have a drug test there.
You can fly the plane.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
So yeah. Mm-mm. I don't know. What do y'all make about, this whole fiasco?
I don't know. I just heard this. I'm just here. This is my first time hearing about this. More than 1,000 flights were canceled on Sunday and 800 on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm
trying to think. Was it in a certain state or just all over the U.S.?
Mainly, it was like that Dallas Fort Worth area, because that's like a big connecting flight area for Southwest.
DFW.
It was like them, Oakland. I think like Fort Lauderdale, shit like that. But yeah,
they have a storm or some shit out there. No, because I know it's hurricane season coming up. But the
no storms, no inclement weather, and then all of a sudden they said people was holding on. People was on hold. People was on hold with the customer service reps for at least 8 hours and everything like that too, trying to rebook their flights and different things.
And then all the hotels was booked up, all the rental cars was booked up. They couldn't do shit with the shit. They was just stuck there in the airport for 9, 10, 11, 12 hours with no resolution. That's and crazy. All they could tell them is, it's inclement weather. But they looking outside like, bro, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's why I fly first class, baby.
First class was halted too. Then.
Right.
Shit. But yeah, this put me up in a hotel or something.
This was like something that was
this is unacceptable.
They said they had a walkout. They call it a sick out. A lot of pilots use a sick day, and it caused 1,000 flights to be canceled.
Wow.
Oh,
a sick out.
They're not paying niggas, huh? That's what it is. They're not paying.
No, the niggas don't want.
Oh, it's a vaccine mandate. Oh, yeah. Vaccine. Oh,
so is this? Did this story? Is this like a mainstream story
No, it's a mainstream story, but the real,
they're not telling the real
the background info is not being displayed how it's
displayed.
supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're saying because they don't want to get the vaccine.
And you will see it like here and there, like in like a couple like witness accounts. They be like, well, yeah, our flight got canceled. We was on the tarmac and our flight got canceled. But you look all around in the terminal and planes that are on Southwest, they taking off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You look at the whole departure screen. Other flights are taking off. It's all Southwest.
Wow.
So has anybody flown lately? Any of you guys ever flown?
Man,
lately?
I got a Southwest flight. I got one Friday.
I'm flying out next week. Do you have to have like vaccination card and all that? And,
you don't.
No? Okay.
You don't.
I got one. I'm just asking.
But it's the only place where you know what I mean. You can be in tight situations, breathing on people, using recycled air. But boarding.
You can do that at football stadiums though.
Yeah,
but you do that football stadiums.
Yeah, to get there. But boarding the plane, you got to be 6 feet apart. You gotta have your mask on. You gotta be saying like you gotta do all this shit. But once you're in there, you locked and loaded. You uptight.
That's why you gotta fly first class, baby. First class.
You still breathing my air?
This nigga's stupid.
It's recycled up there.
Still breathing my air.
Now I'm going to I'm supposed to be going to Orlando next week for a wedding, and then I'm while we out there trying, I think we're gonna ride up to Tampa and go see the Tampa game. The Bucks.
They play in Philly, right?
Yes, ain't that tomorrow?
Oh no.
No, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Right. Next week.
I don't know who they playing.
Where you going this weekend?
Celebrate birthday. You know what I mean? Can't tell.
True. I don't know what I'm gonna do for mine at the end of the week. I mean, not the end of the week, but end of the month.
All you October babies.
Yeah, I'm thinking about y'all trying to gamble. Y'all trying to go to MGM? What y'all trying to do?
No, I can't do that.
Oh, man, come on, Maryland Live.
I could do that. I can't do MGM.
28% of flights on a day. 24 on Saturday and 28 on Sunday. Sheesh.
Right.
But they're saying weather challenges.
If it's a weather challenge, wouldn't you expect like maybe 100 flights? Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see no blizzard or hurricane or you know what I'm saying? I didn't see none of that shit on Weather Channel. I'm on that bitch every morning.
Yeah, there's too many flights because they were saying they was calling out numbers like that, like when like the I want to say like when the pandemic first started and they just and folks just wasn't trying to take no flights and it was empty seats and shit. So yeah, that don't sound like weather to me,
But the thing is like why do these like outlets just like say stuff like this and then we supposed to believe it? Like clearly that's not the case. What makes them so comfortable to be like, okay, this is what it is, and believe this shit. Shut the fuck up, believe this shit.
It's not
because people have been believing this shit that the news been telling them forever. They, of course, they expect that. That's our like main source of information at the end of the day. So, that's the first place people look for information.
And then I seen this shit today. They seen this shit is happening. It's like, hold on, the airlines, y'all already sorry as hell, y'all. We need that. Yeah. Halt that shit.
Y'all can't set the precedent.
Wow.
That's interesting though. So they probably end up making them have to do the testing or whatever.
And there's nothing wrong with that option. Once again,
but
I'm
gonna say that it's not.
But
nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. Nothing wrong with it. But I think it'll be an issue after a while. It'll be like, damn, I gotta go get tested again. You know what I'm saying? I got
home tests
2, 3, 4 times a week. I don't know.
No, so listen. There is no like there. There is if you have made the stance that you're not going to get the vaccine, you are also making the stance and you are also aware that if to keep my job and to maintain my job, one of the things that I must do is to go get tested. Like that's a reasonable accommodation for both parties. Like it's not like you're forcing somebody to like they're forcing. I mean, I understand they're forcing people to get the vaccine, but they're also. It's not like they're forcing people to go 3 hours away to go get tested. Like they're testing locations like
right at the job, on site, right there. Yeah,
bro. You know how easy testing is right now.
Yeah,
is this
you can test at home?
So your fucking self, bro.
It might be
two of these bitches in here.
You think, but are they accepting those tests, or do they want like actual?
Yes. Nigga, he bought it in the store.
What's the difference, bro?
I'm sure they have.
This is what they used.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I hear what y'all. I feel like I get what y'all saying and whatever, but I feel like first off, anyway, the testing anyway is more. It's not solely just to make sure that you don't have it. I feel like it's a deterrent or whatever to make you go and get vaccinated, because you gotta do this shit every goddamn week or every other day or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, but I feel like down the road it would be like, no, we're not accepting your home test or whatever. So you got to go to, you got to go to a medical facility or whatever every week or whatever, and get tested. And then you might have to wait 3 days to get the results for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Corey, one of the other things, one of the other things is like, especially as we just talked about with New York and the police officers, a lot of those police officers and a lot of like the public servants, literally, like, because there's like we just said, there's 16,000 New York police officers that aren't vaccinated, and so if they were to say like that you have to be vaccinated, or I mean, like they have to make it some type of they have to have to make it some type of accessibility, make it some type of accessibility issue, or make it accessible for everybody. That's the best word for it. Make it accessible for everybody, even if people aren't going to take the vaccine. So like those 16,000, don't get me wrong, those 16,000 are unvaccinated, but they still might be taking weekly or daily testing to prove that they are COVID negative or what have you. So yeah.
It just when you look at all these stories, these headlines, who's being shamed, who are the players, looks like it's a big agenda.
And what's the percentage? Isn't the percentage only like 50 to 60% of people that are quote unquote, are vaccinated or fully vaccinated in the US?
I ain't see that.
That's not a bad percentage though.
But I also know the more vaccination percentage go up, the more cases go up too. So shit on being roll me and breadcrumbs.
It might be something with that though, because the only reason why I got my shit was because my wife caught the shit. So I was like, let me go take my ass and go get the motherfucking vaccine and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it might be something like that too. Like, somebody that caught the shit, and you're like, oh, let me take my ass on down that motherfucker before I get fucked up or something. You know what I'm saying? So I think that could be part of it too. But I get what you're saying though. But
hold on. How does that?
You saying the cases go up? But no. I'm saying the cases are going up, and the people catching getting the vaccination is going up with it.
No, the more people vaccinated are because like last year, when say last fall, when the vaccine hasn't came out yet, the cases were reasonably low before the election, and then when the vaccine start rolling out, more cases start coming up, more and more.
And nobody seems to talk about it, and nobody ever wants to make it seem like vaccinated people, but vaccinated people also had. I know we were in a shutdown, and that probably caused a lot of the numbers to be down for the most of the country, but vaccinated people can also pass the virus as well. Like they say with at least a couple months ago with the Delta variant, even vaccinated people could pass the COVID-19 pass the COVID-19 virus to up to 6 people. And so if vaccinated people are out and about, it could be anybody. I don't want to put it on vaccinated or unvaccinated people, but if people are out and about, like it could just be passed around like nothing has happened. It could be passed around like a common cold, and people are pretending like because I'm vaccinated or because I'm not vaccinated, I'm not the issue, or I am the issue.
Right. But what game was that this weekend where it was a big ass upset and everybody ran on the field? That shit looked crazy. Like what
Texas
game was
A&M.
that?
Texas A&M, Alabama.
Alabama, nigga. Did you see how everybody ran on that field? Not a single fucking mask. You know what I'm saying? And this shit happens every week, every fucking week. So I mean, it's like, come on, man. It's like we're watching on TV, people walking around, and then in one breath, then in the next breath, we over here fucking shaming niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, every person out there at that game didn't have the vaccine. You know, every person did, but no one's shaming these people for being that close with no mask on. You know, but then if I walk into a damn Giant, they're gonna meet me at the door with a mask. Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it shit don't make no sense, bro. It just don't. It don't, man. And I feel like these football games we watch every weekend is the biggest like example of the hypocrisy behind all this shit. You know.
Yeah.
Jackasses.
Just watch a college football game, you know, and let it be an upset, and just watch those people come on the field, and you just gonna see it don't make no damn sense, and it happens every week. It should been happening since last year. Remember that Clemson game with Trevor Lawrence and shit? That shit happened last year. So I mean, bro, then we got Delta variant, we got variants and shit, and the football is still making money. Football still making. So I mean, come on, man.
That nigga Trevor Lawrence was out with COVID-19. Like, dude was on the sideline with his mask down.
What?
Yeah.
Talking to his plate. That's what I'm saying.
Like they had
nothing.
Like they had the bottom line graphic and shit. Like they put a picture of Trevor Lawrence, and that Jones said Trevor Lawrence out COVID-19. Then the next picture, the next frame, he was talking to the other quarter, DJ number 5.
Yeah, I know. I won't even his last name. I just can't do it. It's gonna be a while till I get it, yo.
DJ number 5.
I don't even want to say it wrong.
I do the same thing too.
I mean, right now we definitely on the woke streak, so we might as well keep it going onto the Chappelle special. You know, just keep the conversation going. Chappelle, definitely one thing. I didn't see it, but I saw some highlights. I know, right? I didn't see it yet.
Watched it last night.
I've seen a lot of highlights. I've heard a bunch of commentary, but I will say from what I've heard and gathered, he said a lot of stuff that we've touched on this podcast before.
Yeah,
so
verbatim,
verbatim. Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely it's definitely something to see. But what y'all saw it? So what's y'all overall thoughts of it?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like verbatim, when we speak, listen to the Flight Room podcast week after week. If you like Dave Chappelle's The Closer, week after week, he talked about aliens, loosely. He talked about space Jews. We talk about shit overtime. We talk about COVID. He talking about the blacks on Asian violence. We talk about that shit. Talk about the baby, how the shit kind of look orchestrated. He talked about how you can talk about black people and niggas and shit like that, but you can't talk about gays and just the whole woke movement shit. So like, if you like that, watch this. This is my commercial for the Flight Room podcast.
Hey, so I will say this though. I will say this though. It wasn't as funny as I expected to be, but it wasn't. It wasn't that funny. It was more. Yeah, it was more serious. It was more serious, but it was more so of like, I don't know why y'all fucking with me. Y'all know I'm not like that or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's why I was called The Closer. Like he
exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
No more of these. Yeah. Like I'm not addressing that shit no more. Like if y'all want to be upset, that's on y'all. Like that's I think why it's called The Closer.
He got that fucking money pretty much. He can do that.
Basically.
He can do that. Not a lot can, but he can.
Now, he also said that shit in there too. He was like something. He was like, "Nigga, I walked away from 50 mil." Right. I walked away from 50 mil. But yeah, I think. And Corey, you just talked about how it wasn't funny. I think like Dave has mastered like. He's still funny. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it was still funny. Yeah.
No. I say I think
just wasn't over the top.
Yeah. Right. I think he's mastered the art of storytelling more so now, and not only just with the storytelling, but he's also being real and adding activism, and like he branches off with it. Sometimes it's a story about whatever, but it's always a story. It's a storyline, and it's not like the punchline comedy that we were used to with other things and different things or other comedians. But he's more so like, I'm gonna tell y'all a story, and y'all motherfuckers gonna have to learn. Like, even if you don't want to, I mean, if you ain't come here to learn, then you might as well just go ahead and go home. But like, you're gonna learn about some shit, and your eyes gonna be open for a later interaction or something.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy funny, but it was informative, and it kept the audience engaged. And you know, he had his punchlines here and there or whatever, but it's I'm not saying it was whack or nothing like that. It definitely kept me engaged and everything and all that shit. It's still dope. It just wasn't the crazy funny Dave Chappelle. He was more serious. He was serious. He was serious. He's tired of y'all motherfuckers. He's serious.
I mean, but also you gotta think about the 846 John too. Like that was more
that shit.
Yeah, that one, it wasn't a single joke in that joke.
It'd be like more like rants. It'd be like rants of like how I'm feeling, what's going on in society, and I feel like
out here.
I think like comedy, like you gotta. I think it because like at first you can say like anything. So like he's kind of like teetering the line of like what I'm absolutely not able to say, and kind of checking the audience too. Like, look, after this, like, y'all gonna have to get used to like the shit we used to be on, and I'm going back to that shit. So like now, like I'm setting, you know, I'm closing this shit out. Like we had
I didn't think about it like that.
We had our little sparring session, the whole, especially the trans LGBT. Like we had our little sparring session, but like after this, and when I come back out, I want to hear none of that shit because like.
Don't be surprised if you put a tour with a bunch of folks together, dog, and that joint be. I'm in line to get me a ticket.
Yeah, he even said, you know, you said this shit a couple weeks ago about Kevin Hart. You know what I mean? He geared up and he's about to host the Oscars and shit, and they snatched that shit away from him on some John Gruden shit.
Yeah, and then like even and the funniest part is like, so they have so many different people from the LGBTQ plus community speaking out about the special and everything like that. But then there's also so many people from the LGBTQ community that are speaking up for Dave, like the comedian, what's her name, Flame Monroe. She's actually a trans black lady, but she spoke up when she was on Don Lennon. It was like
CNN, right?
Yeah, it was talking about like how she fuck with the special because like literally. I mean, it was an opportunity to speak about, and he was. And the thing is, like, I saw so many different things where they were talking about how he like bashed that I forgot her name, Daphne.
It was Daphne or something. Daphne something.
Yeah, but I
forgot the last name.
When I actually watched it, I was like, dog, I must have missed like, where do we see? I didn't see him bashing her at all, like. But yeah, the only thing I did see, he was frying her because he kept saying her jokes wasn't funny. But that was funny. That was funny. That was comedy.
And he said she loved it, and this is also from her family saying that they loved it, and it was kind of like, you know, a sad story to hear at the end of it because she committed suicide and shit. But B talked about this shit last week. You know, they committed suicide. Like, where are they rallying around her instead of worrying about Dave? You know what I'm saying? Where's the awareness on that?
Yep.
And this is from her too.
Yep.
2019.
Yeah, I had seen it. Like last week before I seen the special. I was like,
"What he's talking about?" Because he said stop punching down on black people because he said this shit last week too. Hey, bro, we always, you know, a couple weeks ahead. But he's saying like, you know, you and him said like, you know, we got our own. We try and right the ship, and adding people to the ship, to a sinking ship, is not beneficial. But he was saying punch it down. She said punch it down requires you to consider yourself superior to another group. Dave Chappelle doesn't consider himself better than me in any way. He isn't punching up or punching down. He's punching lines. That's his job, and he's a master of his craft. That's it. That's her.
I'm that Daphne.
So all y'all just be up in arms for the sake of being up in arms.
Yep,
black, bro.
And then they said after that tweet, like, was it a couple of days later that she killed herself?
Yeah,
probably from the pressure of her own fucking community.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me. You just got put on by Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Hey Marcus, I definitely would advise you. I mean, I know you're going to check it out, but I definitely
Yeah.
would highly recommend that jump, not only to you but anybody else who has
Yeah.
not seen it. And I
Nah,
also would highly recommend the Flight Room podcast
Mm-hmm.
and also the Fifth Quarter
everybody
podcast.
watch. Everybody watch.
We are on Spotify. We are on
Everybody watch.
Spotify.
It was a good serious joint. It was a good serious joint.
All that.
But yeah,
I can't wait for the next project.
Well, I guess we can close out on this last topic. You know, something a little different. What city will win a versus battle? Like an actual, like what two cities, if you actually would put them together and had them battle? So we talking about LA, New York, Chicago, Atlanta. If you was take two cities and take their best artists, I guess in any genre too, right? We're not just talking about, you know, rap or anything. We talking about like R&B, whatever you're. And are we just talking about black music? Or are we talking about
Gangbanging.
just
Nah,
all,
music.
like all music, right?
Music.
But yeah, I mean, obviously from my point of view, I think Atlanta definitely gonna be in that battle. You know what I'm saying? I think it's up to the rest of the cities to see who's gonna face Atlanta. I think Atlanta pretty much, you know, pretty much
Y'all sleeping on Laurel, Maryland, man. Y'all sleeping on Laurel, Maryland, man.
Shut up.
Hey,
I
Brent
guess you would have to.
Fayez from Columbia though, or whatever his name is, Brent, the dude that the R&B singer.
Yeah, amazing
he
artist.
From, yeah, he's from Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
I will
I'd
also
have to
put.
go.
I mean, we kind of overlooked this, but LA's been doing it big for
Yeah,
a
that's
long
where everybody
time.
go to make their dreams.
From NWA to TDE to Death Row, all that. Everybody in between. LA, I think probably the most influential. You could say New York. I mean,
one of these
days
is gonna be DC. One of these days is gonna be DC.
No, I don't think so.
If folks can get out their own way, if they can get out their own way, they can do it.
But you can say
shit,
that.
Fat Trail got about the joint. Fat Trail got about the joint. You know,
it's a lot of us that got out of here, but I just don't think we got the. We don't got.
But didn't have the longevity. They didn't have the longevity.
But if we talking about a versus song, I mean, we talking about a versus battle. We only talking about 20 songs. I still just don't think we got the horses in the race. I know we got everybody from Marvin Gaye to Wale to some other folks.
True. We talking about
some go-go songs.
True.
Yeah, we. I mean, if you add all genres, we kind of respectable though. But I wouldn't. But not you know, in comparison to the LAs and New Yorks and all them shit.
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. But let's just go down the list though. Let's just like here's some. These are some New York artists. So we got Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z.
That's tough.
Wu-Tang, DMX.
That's tough.
Public Enemy, Run DMC.
Rakim.
50 Cent.
That's a bulletproof brick wall you got to go
Tribe
through.
Called Quest, Big Pun, Mobb Deep, De La Soul, Method Man, LL Cool J, Slick Rick, KRS-One. All right, now we can go to West Coast people.
Mobb Deep.
That's it's even more. That's just name a few. Ja Rule. All right, West Coast. We got Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Tupac, Kendrick Lamar, Eazy-E, NWA, Ice-T.
Tupac from Baltimore, but
I mean, you know where he recognized.
I know he's West Coast. Go ahead.
But let me see. You got YG, Corrupt, Too Short, E40, Mick Ren, Warren G, Exhibit. I think New York got that. At least from what I'm seeing, I think New York got that. Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, but Cali don't want to hear that though.
I know, but I'm just saying, just going by the list. Yeah. If we, because I think that New York list, I was going a lot, longer with more. I guess you could say, successful, artists or whatever.
What you got?
But hold on, but you don't think Snoop, Pac, Kendrick is like top tier?
All right, Snoop, Pac, Kendrick versus Jay-Z
and Drake,
Biggie. Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas. Drake not LA.
There's too many top tiers in New York, though. It's too many top tiers. It's too many.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, and then there's like a level right under the top tier. You got top tier and top tier.
All right, okay. All right, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and what? Tupac. You want to make that?
Tupac is Bay Area, kind of, right? Huh?
I mean, West. Oh yeah, we doing. That's right. I see. I'm doing West Coast, East Coast. I'm not even thinking LA, and we doing cities. All right, that's what we doing. We doing cities.
I don't know, bro. Is Tupac from the Bay or is he from LA?
He's from Oakland.
He's Oakland.
If I remember
So
correct.
That's like comparing us to Baltimore.
Right.
Who from Oakland?
true. Well, okay. Well, so we doing LA then.
Yeah.
All right. So Dr. Dre is Snoop, Ice Cube,
Yeah.
That's Long
Kendrick
Beach.
Lamar, Easy
I
E.
think that's still LA though.
Then you go. All right, so let's just go with that 4 right there. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Kendrick Lamar. I think that's a strong 4.
We might have to pick 5, Joe. We might have to pick 5. Like
All
you
right,
playing
5
with
on West Coast. All right, so who's your 5th West Coast person then? We got Easy E, NWA, Ice T, The Game, Nipsey, E40, Too Short. Like who's your 5th?
E40
is Nate Dogg in that joint? Is Nate Dogg in there?
You want to throw Nate Dogg as the 5th?
I got to throw Nate Dogg in there.
Y'all want to make this Nate Dogg? All right, clearly
Got
we
the Nate
not.
Dogg, man.
I'm sure niggas from the West
All right,
Coast.
then New York probably got it then.
Looking at us like we crazy right now. All right, so East Coast, right? All right, East Coast, right? So, all right, East Coast rappers. You got Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas.
Yeah,
Now
that's
you-
tough. That's
I
tough.
mean, that
Big
already.
Easy.
Yeah.
That's already. That's what I'm saying. DMX, Wu-Tang Clan.
It's like we don't have to go no further than them
Yeah,
3,
all
but
right.
you know.
All right,
That's
New
what
York
I'm
got
saying.
it there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it will have to be New York against Atlanta.
Atlanta probably.
Atlanta probably got this.
I don't know
3000.
about that. I don't know about that.
You got
I don't
out-
know about that.
You got
Outkast.
Outkast, T.I., Jeezy.
Gucci, T.I., Ludacris, Goody Mob, Jeezy,
DJ Drama.
Lil Jon,
Future.
21 Savage, Jermaine
Usher.
Dupri, Outkast,
Lil
Big
Jon
Boy,
from South Carolina, I think.
Killer
Lil Jon,
Mike.
South Carolina.
And Ludacris from Chicago.
It's all about what they rep, though.
I
guess,
know,
right?
but he is, but
Yeah, he is
rep
ATL,
Atlanta,
yeah,
though.
you
And
right,
Gucci
you right.
from Mississippi or some shit like that.
But they rep Atlanta though.
Really?
Soulja
I didn't know
from
he was
Atlanta?
Mississippi.
Migos, Future, Young Thug,
Soulja.
for Waka Flocka, Pastor Troy,
Waka
even
Flocka
Chris.
from Queens.
What?
Waka
Oh,
Flocka's
yeah.
from Queens.
He actually is. See, why y'all that nigga rep Atlanta though, man? Just let that man.
So it's New York has basically just passed the torch to Atlanta. That's all. It's passed the torch.
I mean, Atlanta-
And it
Atlanta
stayed
is just
down there,
now.
though.
It's just
But it
now.
stayed down there. That's the thing.
But Atlanta
Yeah,
got a
for
strong
now.
lineup though.
Now.
What do you mean now? That Atlanta
For
had
now.
that shit since Atlanta had that shit since like our sophomore year.
All right, look. just-
He's also
What?
forgetting
they
about.
got
He's also
College
forgetting
or
about.
high
Yeah,
school?
but then we ain't even talking about the R&B artists either from Atlanta.
112.
Keisha Cole.
Man, you can't say 112, man. They signed a Diddy. Get out of here. Get out of here. They signed a Diddy.
Okay.
Get out of here.
But they
Diddy's
from Atlanta.
That's Diddy.
Hey,
That's
Ball and
Diddy.
MJG,
That's Diddy.
they Memphis.
All right, yeah. Memphis. He's but
They
that's
got a
Diddy.
good-
That's got that you gotta come on over here to New York, dog. You gotta come over.
Man,
Come to New York.
I
Come to
think-
New York, dog.
I
That's
think
Diddy.
it's- I
Diddy
think it's-
finding that talent.
I think it's safe to say New York got it.
Over
New York
Atlanta?
got it.
Exactly.
It's just because of like the whole prestige, just like ooh, it's
The
Biggie,
torch was passed.
ooh, it's Jay-Z, ooh, it's Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like, do those
Yeah.
names really like measure up to? I mean, of course, T.I. got like a good catalog. Jeezy got a decent catalog.
Gucci.
Outkast has the allure probably more than all of them, but
Yeah.
as far as allure, New York got it.
Yeah. H-Town got some
Yeah.
sleepers.
And the thing is, like, we can talk about this because we're not biased. Like, you know, New York niggas like, nah, son, you know what I'm saying? And then
Nah,
Atlanta,
son.
yeah, like Atlanta gonna talk shit, like Cali's gonna
Nah,
talk shit.
son.
We from the outside, we're talking, you know, we're not biased, so we have no dog in this race. We have no
Nah,
dog.
but
Nah,
yeah,
son. It's not even like that, B. Nah,
Right.
son.
Yeah, Chicago got
They don't even wear
Kanye.
Timbs down there, son.
They got Chief Keef, Kanye, Twista, Lupe Fiasco, Common, Chance the
Yeah.
Rapper.
It don't really. It's cool. But
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a
carry
couple,
with-
but ain't nobody that's like, you know,
Yeah.
outside of probably Kanye and
Damn, y'all forgot about 2 Chainz.
I would throw Lupe up there. Yeah, 2 Chainz definitely
Yeah, we
Atlanta.
did forget about 2 Chainz, Atlanta. Yeah.
Houston,
One of my favorite Atlanta rappers.
Houston
Yep.
got some allure. They got UGK in.
We got
Scarface.
UGK.
Ghetto
They got-
Boys.
Ooh.
They got Meg. They got Beyonce. I don't know if you consider those two.
Oh yeah.
Paul Wall, Slim Thug.
Thugger.
Yep.
Thugger.
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. Yeah.
Chameleonaire.
Even though he's from San Antonio,
Yeah.
but
Mike
playing
Jones.
music. Yeah.
They got me onto the Chop and Screw. That's why they call me Corey Mo to this day.
DJ Screw.
To this day.
DJ Screw.
Lil Kiki.
Yep.
Yep.
Lil Kiki. Corey Mo.
Who else?
Killer Calion.
Kirk Cobain.
Boy, they got
Trader Truth.
Zero. Yeah.
I forgot about my man Mike Jones.
No, I said him. You don't be listening, yo. You just don't be listening.
I got the one joint. I got the two jumps. I got the one jump.
Devin the Dude. Shit.
281.
Yeah, that's the Lord. That's the Lord right there. Those three right there.
What? Which ones? What three?
Devin the Dude was from Texas? I don't know
UGK,
that.
Yes. He rapped.
I didn't realize that.
Devin, UGK.
Oh yeah, he was signing rap.
I was on mushrooms the other day listening to the To the Extreme Jump. It's a masterpiece, bro. The To the Extreme Jump is a masterpiece.
It is a masterpiece.
It's a
masterpiece.
Masterpiece. The production, the record, everything about that album is a masterpiece.
I listened to it off the bud. I ain't never listened to it off the shrooms though. But it's a masterpiece though.
It is a masterpiece. You can listen to it sober. It's a masterpiece.
It is. I like to listen to it chopped and screwed though. My good man.
Yeah, you need a little bit of lane.
So but who the Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas are like every city though? You know what I'm saying? Or like the major cities. Like who's the top three you would who's your Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas of Atlanta?
You know what we forgot too? We forgot Miami.
Well, Jeezy got to be in there.
Miami.
Yeah, we did forget Miami.
Miami. It's Rick Ross, Trick Daddy,
Flo Rida.
Oh, stop it.
Stop it. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I don't even know about Trick Daddy. Hold on. I'm trying to think.
I put Pitbull
Miami
in front of Flo Rida.
305.
Yeah, I give you Pitbull. Definitely.
Yeah, he got more pull than a lot of niggas out there, John.
Yeah, Flo Rida probably got more money than a lot of these niggas though. Don't
Facts.
He might though.
Not more than Mr. Worldwide.
He got that.
He was making them pop songs and shit.
Yeah, he made that other shit.
Pitbull. He went to Pitbull lane. That's exactly what he did.
Is T-Pain Miami?
Yeah,
I think so. No, ain't he Jackson?
No, he's Atlanta.
No, he's Tallahassee.
Yeah,
right.
Kodak.
Okay.
No, I don't think he's Miami
That's
though.
another Florida. Yeah, that's Miami.
Yeah,
But he's Florida though.
I didn't know he was Miami.
So we do all right. So we just gotta do Florida then. Because these things.
I mean, we just named.
You never know. Shit, we might as well say Drake Miami because he got a joint out there, but he really.
No, it's not where they live. It's what they rep. He reps Canada.
Yeah, he do.
DuPont Circle.
Whatever. Nigga. Ace Hood. Okay. Damn, who else was Florida, dog? Who else was
Uncle
Florida?
Luke.
Okay, yeah, okay.
That's way back. Way
But
back.
we're talking about the Lord. We're talking about the Lord.
Yeah,
the Lord.
Yeah, no, he had the shit on lock before everybody.
It's Luke, Ross, and
Pitbull.
Trick Daddy.
Shit, Ross even did a Luke joint.
Trick Daddy.
We don't have. It ain't no other Florida rappers.
Of course there is.
Who else?
Gunplay is my one of my favorite rappers.
Ah, yeah, Gunplay. I knew it was some more. And cut the dreads. Who else? That's good.
Don Logan. Yeah.
I don't know that nigga.
Yo, this is a funny one. I just
Kodak Black and you go ahead.
Wait, Marcus.
No, I was saying Kodak Black and Lamar Jackson from the same city.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they the same age. And they the same age.
It makes sense.
Nigga, we went to a party out there at Boyer Raton.
Oh,
where they from? They West Palm Beach.
Boca Raton.
Where they from?
Boca Raton.
Pompano Beach, Florida.
Yeah, we went out to a party around there.
Yeah, him and Lamar Jackson from the same place.
That's the most ghettoest quarterback
I
ever
Plies,
seen.
man.
What's ghetto about Lamar, yo?
God damn, the whole presentation. Don't ask me no questions,
braids?
dog. The whole presentation, dog. The whole presentation. Don't ask me no questions. The whole presentation.
I
Don't
love how
answer
you
no
answer.
question.
I love how you answer questions. I love that shit. How you
Yeah.
Yeah. Even that Monday night game after he answered that shit, it's like, yeah, he
Yeah.
coach said,
I
y'all
love it.
With the gold Tiefus is in. Yeah.
I love it.
I love
That's
it.
all right though.
Yeah,
I like
it.
it. My folks getting money out this joint. Get it. Get it.
That
Yeah.
John just said Bobby Schmurder's from Florida.
For real?
That nigga's a
Yeah.
Brooklyn ass
Who?
nigga.
Bobby Schmurder.
From Florida? No, that nigga. Yeah, he New York, ain't he?
Brooklyn. Yeah.
He is. I mean, he reps New York, Brooklyn, definitely. But I was
So
just
he
saying
moved from Florida to New York?
most people do. Most
All
people
right.
move.
No.
This the whole like
Shit,
Michael
I
Jordan
would never
debate.
move from Florida to New York. Shit.
He ain't no damn choice, probably.
Oh, I guess probably his mama. Probably his mama.
You know how New York
Happy.
niggas always try to claim Michael Jordan, like even though like he's a North Carolina dude, he's just because he was
Who?
born in.
All right, can we settle
Michael
this
Jordan.
right now? Can we settle this right now? Where
For
the
real?
fuck is Where is
Yeah,
Carmelo?
Michael
Anthony
Jordan's
from?
born in Brooklyn.
No, but where is
I did not know
Carmelo
that.
from?
I did not know
Baltimore.
Is he okay? But I thought
But he claims New York.
I was want to say he turned somehow turned into a New York nigga. Like I don't know.
Alright, so I'm
if y'all
confused.
tripping.
He claims New York.
Lala.
But he's
that's
building
what it
basketball courts out in Puerto Rico. So he's Puerto Rican and that
Lala,
too.
right?
So where he from? Lala Puerto Rico. They're both of them Puerto Rican.
I think.
Lala is Petey Crack's cousin.
Damn.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they cousins.
Ring.
Yep.
And shout out to Petey Crack because he consistently puts like anthems out. Like if y'all can go on YouTube right now and
He's
listen
still
to
making music? I did not know that.
Petey Crack Sports Mode. I listen to it almost every morning. The one song Sports Mode. That's
Yeah,
my
I know.
shit.
Do he still
Put
do
me
the
on that,
kring?
The nigga,
Yeah.
he
He
is
still do
a
I
rapper.
make the Mac go kring.
That nigga's an elite rapper.
True. That's how we're gonna close this right now. I'm gonna give y'all a kring.
I guess we're gonna ask the other question next time.
We got another one. I thought that was it.
Yeah. The whole flash. Speed round jump.
What's the speed round? Just get it over it. Go ahead.
Depression. Depression in one word.
Yeah, I know
This
that
ain't
shit.
that way. You know what I'm saying? Niggas
That's what I said.
gonna just go to depression right at the end. Like nah.
Who put that fucking question in there? I don't know about this shit.
That right
I don't know
there.
about this shit. I would then fall still over to the overtime. I feel like doing overtime. I've been drinking gin. I might roll something up. But overtime,
Angels.
that's what I'm saying. LA got some. I think as far as like music
Be
songs, anthems, LA probably got it over just outside of artists. Song for song.
I don't know, man.
And that shit proved, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can like present an artist versus another artist, but as far as songs,
I don't know though, dog. Because Jay-Z got a lot of anthems. Just himself in New York. Just
Yeah,
himself.
but-
He got a lot of anthems.
So
and
it's
then
Tupac.
and then you bring in other. Yeah, but
Tupac is not fucking with Hov in the verses.
no
way.
nah.
It's
No
impossible.
way.
No
way.
Sorry.
Hov got so many anthems.
Nobody's being Jay-Z in the verses. Nobody. No rapper is being Jay-Z in the verses.
And then as much
Nobody.
as y'all niggas love the Reasonable Doubt, it's not really no
I don't
anthems
think
on
he's
that
using.
joint, but
I'm not think he's using Reasonable
on.
Doubt in the verses.
there's no need to.
You don't think he put Can't Knock the Hustle in there though? I think he might throw that in there because that was like his first single, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Maybe the start. If Mary on stage.
If Mary, but he would, Mary gonna come on stage. Nigga. Like it's Jay-Z, nigga. You think Mary ain't gonna come out? Yeah. But that'd be crazy. But who could see Hov? I don't think nobody could see Hov in the fucking verses.
Nah, I think they just gonna say it's a concert. It's not no verses. It's just a concert. Versus is having a concert because we know it's no competition on this joint. We just gonna have a concert and they might bring somebody else out.
I maybe compete in the verses, not see Lil Wayne, and that's it.
Not I got hope washing away. I got hope getting that nigga out the building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm just saying compete. I'm not saying
yeah.
Compete, compete, and the thing is, I think Weezy got mad respect for him, so I don't even think he would do that. I think that's my whole thing. I think it would be if Jay-Z was
funny.
ever in a versus, it would be like versus unplugged or some shit. It's not gonna be no fucking versus actual versus niggas versus or whatever. It's just
It's
unplugged
funny
or
though.
whatever. We're just gonna have a concert out this joint. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can compete with that, man. Nobody.
This is funny though, because my cousin called me like last week and literally asked me the same question. Like, my two cousins was arguing with each other about the same thing. Like, oh nah, look, Wayne is the only one that could see Jay-Z in the verses. So it was funny that we having the same conversation.
Yeah.
Just as far as the catalog, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. As far as our catalog, we on episode 77. Y'all can look at our entire catalog. This is called Full Episodes. If you want to look at the best of the best, it's called the best of, playlist. All that shit's broken down in playlists. It's easy to digest. You want to look at recaps? You got a short attention span, ADHD, something like that. Look at the recaps. But yeah, each and every Wednesday, live full episodes. Fifth Quarter Podcast, Fight Room Podcast, Overtime, all that shit. But yeah, every Wednesday, keep up.
Let me hit you one time. Kring.
That shit was